Hello friends, in today's video we'll talk about a brand that was once a part of our lives, a name that instantly brings to mind a solid, unbreakable phone, the kind that wouldn't even crack if it fell. Yes, I'm talking about Nokia, the company that once ruled the mobile world but later vanished from history. Today we'll uncover how Nokia, once a tech giant, slowly became the reason for its own downfall. If we go back to the early 2000s, Nokia was synonymous with mobile phones. Back then, mobile meant Nokia. Their phones had unbeatable battery life, strong signal reception, even in mountains, forests, or elevators. At one point, nearly 50% of the world's population used a Nokia phone. But then, suddenly the company disappeared. The question is, why? Nokia's journey began in 1865 in Finland, not as a tech company, but as a paper manufacturer. Later it entered rubber, cables, and finally telecommunications. In the 1990s, when the mobile revolution began, Nokia became the largest player in the industry. Phones like the Nokia 1100, 3310, and 6600 became cultural icons. But this glorious story didn't last forever. In 2007, when Steve Jobs unveiled the first iPhone, the world changed overnight. People realized that a phone wasn't just for calls, it could be smart. Yet Nokia remained stuck with its old Symbian operating system. The company couldn't believe that touchscreens were the future. They thought their keypad phones would rule forever. That one stubborn decision pushed Nokia toward collapse. Meanwhile, Samsung, Apple, and Google began to rise. They launched feature-rich smartphones that were sleek, fast, and app-based. Consumers loved the new experience. Gradually, people started abandoning Nokia. Sales began to fall, yet the company failed to realize that the world had changed. In 2011, Nokia made a major decision, partnering with Microsoft to build phones with the Windows operating system. Thus, the Nokia Lumia series was born. The phones looked beautiful and were well designed, but there was one major issue: a lack of apps. While Android and iOS had millions of apps, Windows Store had only a few thousand. Users couldn't even use WhatsApp, Instagram, or popular games properly. This frustration drove people further away from Nokia. By 2013, Nokia sold its entire mobile division to Microsoft. That was the end of an era. The king had given up his throne. But the story didn't end there. Microsoft, too, failed to revive the brand. Within a few years, they shut down the entire mobile business. Nokia faded into history. But Nokia's downfall wasn't just about technology. It was also about mindset. The company's confidence turned into arrogance. They believed that people would never abandon Nokia. But reality proved otherwise. People crave innovation. And when Nokia stopped offering that, others took the opportunity. Yet Nokia didn't vanish completely. In 2017, a company called HMD Global licensed the Nokia brand and relaunched phones powered by Android. Though these new phones couldn't reach the old popularity, the name Nokia once again resurfaced in public memory. Even today, many people have a special affection for it, because Nokia represents nostalgia, trust, and simplicity. If we are to learn something from this story, it's that to survive in business or life, you must embrace change. Nokia failed because it couldn't adapt. They thought past success guaranteed future security. But in the world of technology, no one is safe. Today's king can become tomorrow's nobody. Just imagine if Nokia had adopted Android early, if they had modernized their system, they might still be leading the smartphone industry today. But history doesn't work on ifs. Nokia taught us one crucial lesson. When innovation stops, downfall begins. Look at today's giants: Apple, Samsung, Xiaomi, Google. They all innovate continuously. They know that standing still means extinction, just like Nokia. Still, our love for Nokia remains, because it wasn't just a brand, it was an emotion, a symbol of an era when phones were for connection, not status. Friends, Nokia's story reminds us that no matter where you are, you must evolve with time. Change is the only constant in life. Nokia failed to realize this, and that's why it fell. Yet, we will never forget Nokia. It gave us our first phone call, our first SMS, and countless memories. Nokia may no longer dominate the market, but it will forever hold a place in our hearts. Thank you, friends, for listening to this story. If you liked it, please like, share, and comment below. What was your first phone? Was it Nokia?